All right. So you're starting down the course, or maybe you're coming back to this at the end, and you want to do well in the final, right? The whole course builds towards the final, so I want to spend a few minutes just talking in no particular order about what's expected, about how to succeed, because I always feel like I've taught really well and made your time worth it if you produce a great final, and we spend all term doing this. So it starts with that project selection stuff that's due during week two. And in the folder, you've seen the project selection worksheet that gives you some guidance. It's important to remember that you're going to work with this topic all term long. And each week, as we do concepts, you're going to apply the concept to your topic and build sections of your final plan. So, instead of teaching you everything and saying in week 7 and 8, go apply it, we try to do it as we go along. And hopefully that's a respectful way to use your time, but to that end, your topic's got to be real. Okay, so you can't be making up something you want to do eventually. Term. Someone's like, "Well, in 2 years, I'm going to start this microchip company and this new EMR." No, no, we don't have enough time during this. The pain is too much for you and for me trying to walk you through it. So it's got to be real. It's got to be something that exists today. It's got to be, a clinic, an imaging center, an ER, a doctor's office, something you can point to. And it's because, as you'll see, things like your SWOT analysis, your competition analysis, your environmental analysis, really requires you to work against a known target. It's got to be healthcare, guys. This is a healthcare marketing course, so healthcare can be interpreted very, very broadly, right? There's all sorts, from assisted living to funeral services, from a pediatric clinic to a women's clinic to increasing pharmacy volume, primary care, urgent care, but it's got to have a healthcare theme. And one of the things when you post this, if I'm not clear, I'm going to ask, tie it to healthcare. But as a healthcare marketing class, healthcare marketing is nuanced. You got to be able to put this one together. And you got to be able to identify the customer. So people get in trouble when they're like, "Oh, I'm going to do this thing, and it's to get all I want to get everybody in the company to sign up for the new health and wellness benefit." Now, that's a captive audience. That's not a customer. It's a customer in the correct term, but it's definitely not how we look at it. So you got to have something that can be transactional. The people have a choice, that you can look at the competition and say, "Ooh, I need to get them to do this, not that." And in your work, you have to be able to look at it. So from doctors referring to people choosing you over something else, to customers choosing to stay home in a rural clinic rather than drive to the town, those are key components. Because each of those will be key inputs to the other things that you're going to push this against. So that's one important thing. Um, and we'll do all that work on topics and get you there. But I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it up. In the end, what you're going to do, and this is really what this is about. Nice of me to get to it. What, in minute three, um, is that final package. So it wasn't too long ago that I was requiring 15 and 20-page papers and marketing plans, but that's not the way the world works now. The way the world works now is Zoom and quick presentations. And so your final is a presentation of your marketing plan. And it's really, uh, this is why I think we should do this. This is how I think we should do this. And this is what we should do about it. And the rubric will help you with some of this, but I want to give you some freedom in how you put it together and not be super prescriptive. I am trying to prescribe a lot of the elements. So, these are the things that have to be in there. But if you're looking for samples, or you're looking for an outline, you're looking for the way to do this, I'm not going to do that. What I am going to look for when you do this. So I think one of my obligations is to look at your work and say, would that fly in a professional healthcare organization today of any size? I worked in big ones, worked in small ones. So I'm not looking for you to present at the board of the clinic. This could be to your small private practice group, the 4 docs, the 9 people that work in the office, and you, right? But it's seeing this is, I want to demonstrate enough understanding of how marketing works to help people believe that your solution to the problem, which is always growing the business, that's what marketing's about, um, can work. And so a couple of things I'll be looking for. Passion. Do you believe this, right? If you just sit there and say, "I have over the last few weeks looked at," we're done, right? You got to believe. I'm not asking to be a great articulate presenter, but you got to believe. You got to connect. You got to look at me, because you got to, the people you're talking to in this presentation have a lot of options of what to do or not. And they got to get excited about your project and want to come along, right? So you got to tell the compelling story. Don't just read me those slides. You read me those slides, and it is going to be one ugly score. Use your words, and your slides and the information you've put together and bring it all in a way that really engages me for the period of time that is listed on the rubric as your maximum. And don't go over, because I'll just quit. You're given a time. We got to be respectful when an organization gives us time. If we go too long, and there's a talk later on brevity, by the way, so don't hold me to this here. But if we go too long, we didn't think about it well enough. We didn't tighten it up enough, right? So passion, completeness. Is it all there? Did you say, hey, you don't have to spend as much time on an environmental analysis as you do on tactics. You don't have to spend as much time on the SWOT as the competition. You can figure that out, but make sure you show all the pieces so the thought was there. We did a SWOT. It was pretty clean. It looked like this. If the big part of yours is, here is the strategy and the tactics and the measurement, okay, balance it, but make sure it's all there. As we do these various pieces each week, don't leave one out. Find a way to adapt it, maybe a big or small piece for you, but they all got to be there and they got to be used correctly. So this is also just like you will do in the weekly work, where you will apply concepts to the topic. And that's where I see if you've got it because you're using it right. You better use it right over there. So if you mix up your terms, if you say something is that it isn't, that's going to be a real problem. So correctness and completeness matters. Interaction, that what I just said, the whole words, music, slides. If you can do your presentation where I can see you up on the little box and your slides over here, like it would be there, ideal, right? And practice early, by the way, because every term someone says, well, I couldn't make this work at the end. This is why I'm telling you now. I practice these. I know these are not high production value videos, but I've worked and practiced these for a while, not just doing it at the last second. You want to bring something forward that is your best professional work. And we don't do that at the last minute. We can build towards that. And it really does need to be a professional presentation. It's clean. There aren't typos. Things aren't running off the page. You're looking at people. You're not doing this with your kids or your roommate in the background running around. This is your big moment when you present this in healthcare. And I know you're going, well, I'll never be a healthcare marketing person. There's the fallacy, right? You may be a clinical nurse manager who really believes in how to grow OB volume. You could give this pitch. You don't need the marketing department. The marketing department may have to go do it. Every one of us will face a time when we can help the organization build something, no matter what our background is. So my goal is to have you be able to come in and tell a compelling, reasoned, professional story that gets people to want to buy your idea. Okay. I believe the topic, the limit will be about 6 minutes. I'm still playing with it a little bit. It'll be in the rubric when you'll see the thing in brevity, but we can't go too long. You lose people, right? Just like I'm losing you now. I prefer to see and hear you, and you have to think about it from the leader's point of view. You have to, whoever you think is in that room, if you're presenting to a senior leadership group, which is kind of the scenario we put in for you, what's in it for them, right? You got to marry your passion. I believe we need more babies with theirs because it drives revenue, because it gets us patients, because it is complementary. Always think about your audience. And a lot of these things have topic talks later. But today, I just wanted to get you to start framing up and thinking about it because, like a third of your points in this course are about this final. And if we start right, we'll end right. And I will look forward to it. And thanks for your time, guys. And we'll play a game later about guessing what all the things in the shelf are. Sorry about the background. Bye.